And on what turns out to be a terrific night in August. We're pretty lucky with 78 degrees. The wind is probably not going to be much of a factor. And not a lot of humidity. Good night to play football here in preseason game number 1. Take it down now to the third man of our crew. We got the band back together. Hey, Dave Spadaro.
Great to be here, Scott. After the Eagles won the World Championship in 2017, they basically ran it back in 2018. Howie Roseman wanted to give that team a chance to sustain its success. However, after the 2022 season, and now after winning the World Championship in 2024, the Eagles approached the offseason with the idea of getting younger. 10 draft picks, 10 undrafted rookie free agents, 13 potential draft picks next year. This is a younger team, an aggressive offseason, and a lot, more than a dozen players here on one-year contracts. So last year, guys, well, it's over with. It sure was sweet, but on to 2025.
As we said, Dave, we're going to get an opportunity to enjoy just a little slice of it, as most fans continue to, but for the Eagles, the work has begun. Bengals have won the toss. They are going to take the football first. Samaje Perine is back deep, along with Jermaine Burton for the kick from Jake Elliott. We have a new dynamic kickoff rule this year, which we'll be talking about throughout the preseason. That's a good placement down to the 5-yard line for Elliott, and we are underway. Good coverage downfield. And after a 24-yard return, the Eagles defense takes the field. Tonight's Eagles starting lineups are presented by Janney Montgomery Scott, official wealth management and financial planning partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Up front, Scott, all of those guys we just saw, critically important. They're competing for the 3rd and 4th edge rusher jobs, as well as the 4th and 5th D-line. Remember, the Eagles lost a bunch of D-linemen this offseason. There are snaps to be had.
Bengals are playing their starters for what looks like the entire of the first quarter. And a guy who got a lot of work last year, Chase Brown, gets the first carry for a pickup of 5 yards out to the 34. Ty Robinson with the tackle in the middle of that Eagles defensive unit. But they're going to be tested right here, Ross. This was the #1 passing offense in the NFL last year.
And if you're wondering why the Bengals are playing their starters, reportedly for the entire first quarter, they are 1-11 in the first 2 games under Zach Taylor. They feel like they need to try something different to get off to a faster start.
That's Jamar Chase in motion. Burrow with time, and right off the hands of T. Higgins, he threw it behind him. Those 2 guys back there are a handful. But again, Ross, if you're looking at a game 1, great test for these guys in the defensive secondary.
Absolutely. It wasn't bad coverage there by Adoree Jackson, but that's something you do not see very often. Joe Burrow, an errant pass to T. Higgins. You see Sidney Brown. The first play, Chase Brown, his identical twin, ran the ball. That play, Sidney Brown almost got in on the play.
Now the defense looks to get off the field on 3rd down and 5. And Burrow, well placed. Cincinnati fans are going to see a lot of that this year. Jamar Chase, the Triple Crown winner last year. That's good enough for a Cincinnati first down.
Eagles got good pressure. Gabe Hall was able to get in there on Burrow. You see Adoree Jackson playing off of Chase, and Chase is just such a good route runner. Jackson showing a lot of respect for Chase's deep speed. That was pretty easy for the Bengals.
From the 46-yard line now on first down. Back to the ground. And into Eagles territory, carrying defenders with him is Chase Brown. He got almost 9 yards on the carry.
You said it's good work for the Eagles secondary, and you're right, but they're also coming right at him downhill. Watch this double team right here against Gabe Hall, trying to drive him back into money. That is well done by the Bengals, and this is a bunch of young players for the Eagles out there. Gabe Hall, the rookie Smile Munden, they are learning how much harder it is to get off blocks here at the NFL level.
Call it 2nd and 2 now for the 46. Quick throw. Chase has a blocker. Yossi Voss sprung him on the outside, and he's going to have a first down at the Eagle 40.
You know, he didn't really make the play there, Scott, but this is what I loved from Sidney Brown when he was in college at Illinois. Watch him. He sees it and he attacks it. No hesitation. He goes right through the blocker and still almost makes the play. Ringo and Brown should have been able to make that play. With Ringo being outside leverage, they should have made that tackle short of the line to gain.
First down for Cincinnati on the opening drive from the Eagles 40. Play action. Burrow. Downfield. Look who. Was he in bounds? The officials say yes. They're calling it a catch inside the 20, down at the 17, a 23-yard pickup.
Bengals are going on the ball. They're not sure if he got 2 feet in. That would be a remarkable catch. Oh, my goodness, he might have.
If that toe was down, his left toe was down when he caught the ball, he was in. Doesn't matter now. Slinging it out of the backfield. And breaking a tackle, Chase Brown gets all the way down inside the 10.
Scott, watching this live, I did not think he caught it, but this is why he's one of the best receivers in the league. I think both those toes are down, and certainly I think the Eagles agreed. They would have thrown the challenge flag, but they didn't see anything there that merited throwing it and trying to get that call overturned.
So an excellent start for this Bengals offense in their first series. Another 9-yard pickup. Second down and 1 now. And Brown through the middle, wrapped up. Gabe Hall made the tackle. It's going to be close to first down yardage. I think he might have gotten it.
Absolutely invaluable for the Eagles' second string to get these reps in live action against one of the best offenses in the NFL. This gives the Eagles coaches a great look at how these guys fare against the competition they're going to have to go against in regular season games.
That's T. Higgins in motion. First and goal. First look wasn't there. Flag down on the play as Burrow searches the back of the end zone. And there is Chase hauling it in. We're going to have to wait and see on the flag.
Block. Offense number 62. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Look at the top of your screen. You'll see Lucas Patrick and Amarius Mims up there. Patrick, that's a tough chop block right there because he just tripped. He fell. He wasn't even trying to do it. But if one guy is engaged up high, another guy cannot go down low. That's a tough call against Patrick, but it's the right one.
That became a point of emphasis in the NFL a couple of years ago. They said they were really going to emphasize that and look for it in games.
And that is a break for the Eagles because Uche was not getting any pressure against Amarius Mims, the Bengals' right tackle.
Well, it's first and goal from just outside the 21-yard line. And Burrow going underneath. Finds his man, Charlie Jones, down about the 12-yard line. Adoree Jackson once again there in coverage.
Adoree Jackson, one of the one-year signees that Dave Spadaro mentioned a couple minutes ago. He's been a long-time starter in the league. 8 years. This is his 9th year. Thought it was a smart decision by Howie Roseman to bring him in. He kind of sets the floor at that position, gives veteran insurance, and now it's up to Keely Ringo to prove he's better than that and better than what Jackson brings to the table.
Tonight's Eagles player stats presented by Jefferson Health. Jefferson Health, official hospital with the Philadelphia Eagles. Down near the goal line, it's going to be close. And I believe the official on the far side says he's in. Tanner Hudson made the catch and carried 2 defenders into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, he ran right through Munden. Ooh, you know what? He might have kept that left knee up.
How about that?
He might have done a good job of keeping the left knee up. It's very close. You can't challenge this because it's a scoring play. I don't think there's enough there for them to overturn it. And that's another one where it's really good work for the Eagles defense, but also I think Vic Fangio is going to be frustrated with how soft they were in that zone coverage right there, and then a really poor job rallying to the football and tackling. A lot of lessons learned for the Eagles young guys on that series.
Evan McPherson coming back off injury last year, now for the extra point for Cincinnati. And it is good. 5 good minutes of offense for the Bengals. A 10-play, 69-yard drive and an early 7-0 lead. So a 7-0 lead for the Bengals. And now the Eagles will get their first opportunity offensively. Lots to talk about on the sideline. Of course, man who runs the show, Jalen Hurts, taking the day off. He should. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday to that guy. Man, am I glad they drafted him. I still remember being stunned when they did that. It was the COVID draft. They said second round, Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Oklahoma. I couldn't believe it, and ends up being one of the best picks in franchise history.
Avery Williams trying to find a hole as he runs it out of the end zone out to the 25-yard line. A 20-yard return. And the guy who now enters the game knowing that the backup quarterback job is his for the first time, Tanner McKee at the controls tonight.
Well, and we talked with him about that yesterday. He said, is it any different being one play away from having the keys to a Super Bowl defending car? And he said, not really. He thinks he can block that stuff out. He just goes through his progressions, which he does very, very well. All he's ever done, regular season and especially preseason, is play well.
Will Shipley getting the start in the backfields and makes his way out across the 23-yard line. The offensive line, slightly different look tonight.
Well, and the guy to watch is the right guard, Tyler Steen. It is year 3 for him. Based on how the reps have gone in training camp so far, it certainly feels like it is his job to lose, and he needs to cement that position in these first couple preseason games, but certainly the time is his.
Don Dotson drawing the start as well. Clearly the number 3 receiver once the regular season hits. And in a lot of ways, that's why. The ability to convert possessions, and in this case, first downs across the 40.
That reminds me of the first play that you saw from the Bengals. Dotson at the bottom of the screen. He's going to run the corner off, a speed out. Very similar to the first pass from Burrow to Chase. Dotson's always been an outstanding route runner. I'm excited to see, Scott, if he can be more productive now that he gets a full offseason, all the OTAs, all the training camp. Remember, they didn't trade for him till after the preseason games last year.
On first down, look out, here goes Shipley. Anybody remember the championship game? Down the right sideline, and Will Shipley is taking it all the way down to the Bengals 21.
And Scott, guess who had the key block? It was Tyler Steen. We were just talking about. Watch Steen right here. He is going to see the linebacker come, and he's going to make a play. Right there, he steals Logan Wilson inside. Wilson takes the inside gap. Huge hole. Love the block downfield from Dotson. And Shipley's a guy. I think they upgraded at the number 2 running back position this year just by it being Will Shipley's turn. He just made plays every time he's gotten an opportunity.
Got 38 on that carry, and they're just outside the red zone. Right back to the well once again, this time about a yard. Shipley ran for 77 yards in that NFC Championship game and the long touchdown.
And remember, he had a long touchdown run against the Bengals in the regular season. It got called back because of a penalty, but he showed burst on a number of occasions, had that huge forced fumble in the NFC Championship game on special teams as well. Shipley looks like he's just a baller.
He's a football player. On second down, McKee in rhythm. Dotson gets it down inside the 5-yard line for a first down. 15 on the pickup.
McKee to Dotson again at the top. Press man coverage. Good luck. Dotson's pretty slick with the in-breaking route. Lots of separation there and showing some legit burst after the catch. That's a really good sign. I don't remember seeing that as much last year. You know, he didn't get the ball very often. But remember, Scott, he played well in the postseason. Maybe he's picking up where he left off.
So on first and goal, Eagles will try to pay off what has been a very productive first drive. Here's Shipley. He got him down there, and now he's got him down inside the 5. Big night for the new offensive coordinator. There's Kevin Patullo.
He told us how fun it is to call plays, right? To be the guy that's calling the plays. He's always been involved in the play calling, but now he's the one actually saying it into the quarterback, and he's off to a heck of a start here on this drive.
Second down and goal. Shipley right back at it again, right through the middle, and he's down to about the 2. One of the things that you see in talking about it with Kevin, you're not going to see a lot of the wrinkles. You're not going to see a lot of the playbook. They're not scheming for the Cincinnati Bengals. You said it well at the top. Tonight's about the operation. It's about getting players into position to be able to do what they need to do. And Kevin Patullo has been saying that really throughout the preseason.
I also don't think we're going to see the tush push, even though it's still legal. If this were Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley and the boys, we probably would.
Instead, it's Shipley trying to bang his way in, and he's down inside the 1-yard line. All right. What do you think?
Well, they're going to go for it.
But no, but the fans want a tush push here.
Can you imagine if Sirianni kicked a field goal here?
The fans are calling for a tush push.
You know what? That's interesting. We'll see whether or not they want to give this group a shot at the tush push. I don't know if Tanner McKee's done it. Here it comes.
It's coming.
All right.
How about that? 4th down and goal. The push is on. And into the end zone for the touchdown. The system works.
Oh my gosh, could the Eagles have had a more perfect drive to start the preseason? That right there was for all the teams that voted against the tush push. We'll do it anyway. Touchdown Birds. Almost like that was scripted.
Harrison Bryant, his first time in an Eagles uniform, getting an opportunity to hug the quarterback and carry him into the end zone.
Hurts is laughing. I got to be honest with you, that didn't look as good as it does when it's Hurts and Landon Dickerson and Mailata, but the Eagles, I'm sure, will take it.
Looks the same on the scoreboard. Here's Elliott now for the extra point. And it is good. So each team with the ball for about 5 minutes, each team with a very good first drive. And we've got a 7-7 game in a lot of respects due to the run by Will Shipley. In his second year, he set his team up to do, well, what the Philadelphia Eagles do best, regardless of who's on the field. Tie game here in the first quarter. Happy birthday, Jalen. By RMG Erectors, proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tanner McKee gets to talk over a very efficient 9-play, 75-yard drive that took just less than 5 minutes. And Dave Spadaro, the tush push is here to stay, at least for now.
Yes, it is. You'll remember that the Green Bay Packers introduced a proposal to ban the tush push, but in May at the owners' meetings, the vote was 22-10 against that proposal. A little help from Jason Kelsey lobbying the NFL owners. The Eagles really believe that no significant data citing any injury factor was present, and the Eagles continue to do the tush push. Last year, they converted 81.3% on the play, and we see they started 2025 in the preseason the right way.
Gary Brightwell, Jermaine Burton back deep to take this kick right at the goal line. It is Brightwell. Got a hole in the middle of the field. Look out. That is a saving tackle. That could have gone an awful lot further.
Jahad Campbell, the first-round pick. One of the things I love about him, absolutely relentless. Watch him chase it down from behind. And for a guy that's a former edge rusher, really good in coverage, especially has a feel for zone coverage. And watch him key and diagnose this. He identifies it's a flea flicker, and he comes and explodes. That's the one thing you want to see even more of him, having only played 2 years as an off-the-ball backer. He's out there now.
Ross's tape breakdowns tonight presented by Wawa. Wawa, official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles. So Joe Burrow, 6 out of his first 7. Now make it 7 out of 8. And Chase Brown has another first down. Taken down on the play in the backfield. And it was the guy we were just talking about, Jahad Campbell, making the tackle.
Yeah, I think both those guys can play at a pretty high level, just watching him in training camp so far. Obviously, Campbell missed all of the OTAs, so he's just still getting a feel for the pro game and the nuances. But that's a heck of a guy to play next to in Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who's an extremely smart football player.
The consensus on Campbell is he was a top 10 talent. The shoulder injury gave teams pause, and the Eagles were happy that that happened. Brown into Eagles territory down to the 46. Sidney Brown making the tackle.
On Chase Brown. I think that's the second time. Watch Sidney Brown come up here and have to tackle his identical twin brother. He said that's the person he's closest with in the entire world. That's got to be a little awkward. The person you're closest with in the entire world, you're trying to hit him as hard as you possibly can.
Well, from what I know about identical twins, apparently he knew which way he was going before he went. On second down, play action with pressure coming, and it's Brown once again getting a steady diet here early. He's going to be short of the first down. Dory Jackson held on long enough to stop him about a yard shy. So when Chase Brown goes up against Sidney Brown, yeah, there's a pound difference.
Yeah, he's got him by a pound. I mean, that's huge. Boxing, wrestling.
I think it's the hair. The hair might be the extra pound.
That's a really good point, actually.
It could be.
How much does hair even weigh?
I don't know.
Not much.
It's third down and short now. And the Bengals will go back to the ground, and Chase Brown banging his way down near the 41. Late flag comes flying in, and that might negate that Cincinnati first down. We'll have to wait to hear from the referee tonight, Bill Vinovich.
Illegal use of hands. Hands in the face. Defense number 30. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So Campbell gets hit for his first penalty, and the Cincinnati drive continues.
And that flag was thrown by the back judge. When the back judge throws a flag on a run play, watch Jihad right in the middle of Campbell. You have that right hand up in Ted Karras' face mask. He gets in on the play, but you cannot do that. He will learn to lower his target area, lower his hands. He wants those hands to be right in the shoulder pad.
And certainly not up to the face. Late blitz coming. Burrow finds his man, and Jamar Chase is going to coast into the end zone. They beat the blitz with a quick throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals score once again in their second possession.
All right, so this is a learning moment, right? It's a blitz. So Ringo knows the ball is coming out quickly. You have to have close enough coverage that if it's coming out quickly, you can make the tackle. He's not close enough, not able to throttle down. That is a relatively easy touchdown for Jamar Chase.
And Burrow looking very sharp over the course of his first two drives.
Don't know if we'll be seeing him again.
They said about the first quarter, we're 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. I think he's done all he's expected to do tonight. McPherson's extra point is good. And Dick Sirianni's team, once again on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Each team has driven for a touchdown on each of their 11-point lead. Each week, NBC 10 is featuring a storyline to watch. Go to NBC10.com to check out exclusive content. This week, we highlight cancer survivor Tanner McKee. Here's a preview.
It was kind of weird because the doctor was saying, he's like, hey, the lymph nodes that we're going to take out, it's next to a nerve. If something does happen, we had to sign away that, like, I could lose, function in my shoulder and not be able to raise my arm. We're like, okay, that's my throwing arm. That would be a big deal.
Tanner McKee telling us part of that story yesterday as well. Bright smile on his face after one drive, a successful drive that he led downfield. He's gotten used to early success in his career.
I can't remember a time where he didn't play well. I mean, this is the third preseason, and he's gotten some regular season action, and it feels like all he's done is play well. You talk with the coaches, they rave about how quickly he goes through his progressions, and clearly the organization has a lot of faith and trust in him to trade Kenny Pickett and make a guy in his third year making the league minimum on that rookie contract, the backup quarterback. And I think he'll do an excellent job, and that represents a lot of cost savings to have your number 2 quarterback making the minimum.
And so a little bit more of a pooch kick this time. And Anaya Smith gets dropped just outside the 25-yard line. McKee made an immediate impression, I guess you could say, getting into the action last year.
It was fun talking with him about this play. I think that was like his first throw, or one of them. I mean, he didn't come in shy. He came in, he said, listen, that was the read. If they were in man-to-man, I was going to throw it to A.J. Brown, and he obviously was not afraid. Nice job, by the way, by A.J. Brown finding that football or getting that fan to give the football back after he chucked it into the crowd.
How about the fact that Tanner McKee has played golf with the guy now? The guy who gave the football back, they're friends. Tanner going up top. Oh, nice catch on the near sideline. A juggling catch and a beauty from the big man, Johnny Wilson.
That's what we need to see from him, Scott. Johnny Wilson, he's almost 6'7". Sky over him, big man, and bring it in. We know he can do some stuff on special teams and do the dirty work as a blocker, but those are the type of plays he made for 2 years at Florida State. He should be a contested catch guy. He is the tallest receiver in the NFL.
Josh Newton, the guy he beat, is 5'11". That was almost not fair. On first down, McKee a little bit of time. And firing complete down the far sideline. Good job of going through his progressions and finding the rookie Darius Cooper for a 15-yard pickup.
Well, and how about a good job by the offensive line as well? McKee bought himself a little extra time, but the guys up front, remember, they're going against the Bengals starters, and this is the Eagles' second unit. Matt Pryor has the D-end on lockdown. McKee able to buy some time, make that throw, and Cooper, the right side of your screen, is an undrafted rookie who's made some plays in camp.
McKee now 4 for 4 for 69 yards in the early going, and they head back to the ground. Maybe a pickup of about a yard on first down.
The Bengals defense really struggled a year ago, Scott, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're playing their starters here, at least in the first quarter. They do have some starting defensive backs that aren't playing tonight, but a lot of those guys out there, Osai and Logan Wilson, Miles Murphy, I mean, these are the Bengals starters out there that the Eagles are moving the ball on.
Against teams with winning records last year, they gave up almost 33 points per game. And a quick little throw to Shipley out on the flat will get it down inside the 30 to the 26. So we'll have about 5 yards left on first down. I should say on third down, which is probably going to be the first play of the second quarter.
Shipley took a pretty good shot there on that reception. Let's hope he's okay. He bounced up pretty quickly and ran back into the huddle, which is a good sign.
So time trickles down now here in this first quarter. It's been an entertaining one. 3 scoring drives thus far, and a new season has begun. Eagles trailing the Bengals after one, 14-7. On opening night.
Preseason games are an awesome, awesome opportunity to bring your family to.
That's kind of a laid-back feel, but certainly just the look out on the field of being able to see your favorite team in uniform, playing at full speed. Fun stuff. Third down now at 5 to open the second quarter. And McKee with a rush coming. Again, buys more time. Floating it. Oh, just off the hands of Calcaterra. He had first down yardage if he could have hauled it in.
I thought he was just going to throw it away. I thought as he rolled to the right, there's some pressure to his right. He steps up. It's a good job finding the window. I thought he was just throwing it away, but he actually put that right on Calcaterra. I think Calcaterra will be the first one to tell you he has to make that catch. Calcaterra is known as a receiving tight end. That's a play he's got to make for his quarterback and keep the drive going.
44 yards on the attempt for Jake Elliott now. And that looks a lot like the Jake Elliott we've always known. So McKee leads the Eagles to another scoring drive. Will Joe Burrow get another shot when we come back? Tanner McKee got his team downfield, nearly got the first down to keep the drive going. So far has looked good and efficient in running the offense.
I love that right there, by the way. Devontae Smith engaged and trying to give Johnny Wilson some pointers. It's a really good sign of the culture they have here in Philly.
That is Brightwell from the 1-yard line. And finds a hole. Flag on the play. Brightwell's running loose into Eagles territory and taken down from behind inside the 30. We got to wait on the flag, and I think it's going back.
Well, fortunately for the Eagles, there's a couple flags down there.
Holding. Receiving team number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And Grandy called for the hold, and that negates a big kickoff return. While we're talking preseason, while we're talking about this Eagles team being back once again, let's bring in one of the best, Lane Johnson, joining us on the sidelines. Lane, how you doing?
What's going on? Yeah, rooting for the defense, and man, the offense is rolling right now, so really proud of how these guys are responding.
Lane, congrats on the 99 rating in Madden, man. That is awesome. Was that a big deal for you?
Yeah, it was. Could have came, sooner, but hey, I'll take it. It was an honor, and I'm grateful for it.
So you got to explain to me how you're doing this, man, because a lot of people think last year might have been your best year. I am in awe that you're still playing at this high of a level. What's the secret? What's the key?
I really never take off. So after the season, I stay pretty consistent. Weight training and just a lot of mobility. So I'm constantly, trying to stay active. And you can get stiff in older age, if you don't work on it. So.
One of the things this team doesn't do, and Nick Sirianni talks about it all the time, Lane, is be complacent. You try to get better every day. How much does it help to know that that offensive line, that unit, is basically back together once again?
Yeah, we're fortunate. We had a lot of carryover. And the guys, I feel like we have a very, very deep room. So guys are really playing well, and yeah, we're rolling, rocking and rolling. The thing I love about our meetings is, everybody's number, somebody that did wrong on the play is put on there, so it doesn't matter who you are. And I think that's great for our team and moving forward.
Lane, what's Landon eating behind you? Is that an Uncrustable? What is that?
Yeah, just one of many. So I'm not sure what number he's on, but hey, he's making weight and he's doing fine. So we're proud of him. And strongest boy we have, strongest man in the county.
Does he ever miss out on an opportunity to photo bomb one of our interviews? It just doesn't look like it.
He's the secret to my youthfulness. So I think a good laugh every now and then does the body good. So he keeps me on my toes for sure.
Lane, let's talk about the other guy, though. The guard next to you now, Tyler Steen. Are you feeling comfortable with the new right guard now that Becton's out in L.A.?
Man, Tyler Steen has really turned a corner. He's been playing out of his mind this camp. You look at him on the hoof, man, he's got a lot of power behind him. So, I'm looking forward to this season, and I continue to make strides, for the next few weeks of training camp.
Hey, Lane, thanks so much. We appreciate the time. Good luck during the season.
Thank y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Okay, it's Lane Johnson with a special guest in the back, eating an Uncrustable like you do. Bengals have it first down at their own 42, and they continue to run the ball well. Late flag coming in, as Taj Brooks' carry of 10 yards going to be negated.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Have you ever had an Uncrustable, Scott?
They're fantastic.
They are. I'm still confused with the whole you eat them right out of the freezer. They're frozen, and then you put them in your bag, and then like an hour later you eat them. What else do you eat right out of the freezer like that? Especially a sandwich.
That's a great question.
I don't understand the science there. Maybe somebody can explain it on social media.
I'll tell you what, they're great on the golf course on a hot day, though, right out of the freezer. Hot first down. Browning now in the ball game. Finds his man. That's going to be enough for a first down for Charlie Jones on that far side. 21 yards on the pickup.
All right, so it's been a rough night so far for Keely Ringo. So let's see Adoree Jackson, top left of the screen, working against Charlie Jones. He's playing way off. It's decent coverage right there. The ball was actually thrown a little bit behind Jones. You'd like for Jackson to be able to make a play on that football right there. If it was a perfect throw, then you can live with it. But because that throw was a little behind Jones, you'd expect Jackson to be close enough to be able to knock that one down.
And back to the ground for Cincinnati. The defense responds well, shutting off Taj Brooks for maybe a gain of about a yard.
Nice play there by Gabe Hall, who's been active on a couple of snaps here so far tonight. He might get more of an opportunity. with Thomas Booker being traded this week for Jacorian Bennett from the Raiders. I did a couple Raiders games last year, Scott, for CBS, and Jacorian Bennett started both of them and played well. I think he's a very solid starting corner in the NFL that Roseman picked up this week.
We'll probably end up seeing him next week, and there is the late pressure, and Ty Robinson, the rookie out of Nebraska, gets home.
All kinds of movement up front, but it's going to finish with Robinson. The 4th-round pick. Look, they blitz. There's a twist. Nice job by Hall to pick the left guard. Uche's where you need him to be, and Ty Robinson finishes him off. Big fan of Ty Robinson's game. 6'5", 290. Look at Goddard. Ty Robinson looks like Drago out there in Rocky IV. He is one put-together young man.
We're going to go over the Rocky IV stuff again.
Oh, yeah, you're the one that doesn't think Rocky IV ended the Cold War is one of the greatest movies of all time.
That's correct. Browning thrown across the middle, tip ball, and it's picked off. Ooh! Oh. It was in and out of the hands of Jahad Campbell. He made the sprawling attempt. He got it in his arms, but it didn't survive the ground.
Oh, man, Jahad Campbell is going to be sick about that. This is what you dream of. The South Jersey kid getting a chance to make an interception in his first game back in Philly. Just now, oh, man, look how frustrated he is. Oh, man, is he mad. That's okay. Hopefully he'll make that play in the regular season. Save it for the regular season, Jahad.
Exactly. Ryan Rico punting it away. And trying to find a corner. He does. It's going to get marked down inside the 10-yard line at the 5. And that's where the offense will start things out. Thanks in part to a big sack from the rookie Ty Robinson. #1 draft pick. Hearing about it a little bit. Is it too soon? Is it too soon?
Look at him. He's still mad. See, I like that, though. That frustration, that anger. Don't tell him it's just a preseason game. He's mad. There was a play to be made, and he wanted to make it. He's trying to earn a starting job. I mean, I think a lot of people think he's got a great chance because he was a first-round pick, but Jeremiah Trotter Jr. can play. Trotter Jr. reminds me a lot of former Eagle T.J. Edwards.
They spot the ball at the 10, and up on top once again, Tanner McKee is 6 out of 7 throwing the ball. A late flag comes in.
Pass interference. Defense number 35. Penalties decline. Result of the play. First down.
Again, the size of Johnny Wilson.
This is one of my favorite things. Johnny Wilson is in the middle there, okay? This is a slot fade, and he's always going to go up against people that are shorter than him, usually much shorter than him. One of my favorite things, Scott, about Tanner McKee, he trusts his guys in one-on-one contested catch, man-to-man situations. And when you have a 10-inch height advantage, you should.
That was a 28-yard gain, and now they've got another first down just short of the midfield stripe. That is A.J. Dillon. Probably remember that name from his 4 years in Green Bay. And he was a workhorse back for the Packers. Missed last year in its entirety because of a neck injury, and he was telling us this week that he wasn't sure if he was actually going to be able to play football again, and is thrilled to be back with this kind of an opportunity.
Boy, that's got to feel good after a year off and thinking you might never play the game again.
That doesn't feel quite as good. Dropped in the backfield by Shamar Stewart, their #1 draft pick. Let's go down to Spud.
Hey, guys, if you take a moment to notice the enormity of A.J. Dillon's quad size, I mean, as weird as this sounds, as crazy as this sounds, it actually blows away the quads of Saquon Barkley. And we talked to him about it yesterday, and what did A.J. Dillon said? No skinny jeans for me. All of his pants are specially made.
He said they were doing some squats during the early part of the preseason, and even though they weren't talking trash back and forth to one another, it would be okay, I'm going to look at you. You want another 5 pounds, 10 pounds on that? What do you think?
He also said, you know, he never wore skinny jeans even when they were popular. I didn't know skinny jeans weren't popular anymore. When did skinny jeans go out? I just started rocking them.
In my lifetime. I have never attempted to put on a pair of skinny jeans. Whether they're in, they're out means nothing to me.
I swear, right when I start to get in on like the trend, it ends. It's like I'm the guy that switches the trend.
Last guy to wear a members-only jacket. Right down the middle, there's Dillon. He does catch the ball well out of the backfield. They needed a lot more than that on third down as he gets back to the 49, and that's going to bring the punting unit on for the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles were rolling with that group, but back-to-back negative plays. There was penetration on the second down Dillon run, and then McKee got sacked on first down, then McKee got sacked on second down. Not as good of a job by the Eagles' backup offensive line on that drive.
So the punting unit out. Braden Mann gets his first opportunity. Charlie Jones, the primary punt returner, back near his own 10-yard line. And has him chasing to the far side and places it well inside the 15-yard line. Looked like it went out just about the 10, and that's where they are going to mark it. Yep, missed opportunities. Don't worry, son. There'll be more.
I bet you there'll be a lot of kiddos here next Saturday at 1 as the Eagles host the Browns here preseason week 2.
A lot of them here tonight. Bengals get it back at their own 10-yard line. Just past the midway point of the second quarter, the 4-point Cincinnati lead. And bang it on through the middle. It's Taj Brooks, the rookie out of Texas Tech. They got him in the 6th round. And Campbell and company have him in their sights now in the middle of the field, but the Bengals are running the ball well.
Remember, one of the reasons why Jahad Campbell fell in the draft was because of a shoulder surgery. So just him being out there, getting these physical reps is critical because he didn't get any in the spring. It had to just be mental reps.
That's great penetration into the backfield. Jacob Sykes got there before anybody else. That's going to bring up third down for Cincinnati.
Let's see what happens with Jacob Sykes. Big 93 right there in the middle. He played in the spring for the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL. Oh, nice swim move. He just swam the center. Nice job, Sykes. That's a lot of football. He played the whole spring league for the San Antonio Brahmas. You a big Brahma guy, Scott?
Haven't seen much of their work. Third down and 5. Got to get it to the 20. Defense wants to get some pressure here. They're bringing it. Donnie's got time, and the throw is complete. Got a flag on the play. That would be good for first down yardage to Mitchell Tinsley. And I believe that call's going against the Eagles.
Way too much time for Browning.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. Penalty decline. Results in the play is first down.
So these are some down-the-line guys for the Eagles up front, but they still got to do more than this, especially when Trotter fits in. They have 5 guys, and then Munden comes as the late guy, as the 6th guy in, and finally makes Browning get rid of it. You see Eli Ricks with that left hand out. This is a big opportunity. These are big snaps for Ricks to show what he can do. There's a reason why he's been on the roster the last couple years. Remember, Ricks made the roster 2 years ago with how he played in the preseason. Sidney Brown's pointing to his shoulder. I don't like that. See what happened to Sidney Brown. That's a heck of a collision there by Sidney. I don't like him ducking the head like that. You want to see what you hit, but Sidney immediately tapped that left shoulder, and now he's getting looked at.
Looked like he got the full weight of the helmet right on that shoulder as he dipped down. Brooks once again getting a lot of work. Gets it out across the 37-yard line. Third down and short. Coming up for the Eagles defense.
Well, and remember, Sidney Brown has been getting all the reps as the starting safety. He doesn't want to have to go in there, but they're making him go into the blue tent. Andrew Makuba, who the Eagles took the safety out of Texas in the 2nd round, he hasn't practiced full contact in the last 5 or 6 practices. He's not playing tonight with a shoulder injury, so could be shoulder issues for both of the guys trying to get that starting job next to Blankenship.
3rd and almost 3. A lot of contact. No flag, and it's incomplete.
That's a nice play.
Well, Eli Ricks stayed right in there, and there was some hand fighting going on the sideline.
Watch Eli Ricks, bottom of the screen. He can do this. He's got long arms. He's always been good man-to-man press. I like the no call. Bengals fans hate the no call, and I don't blame them. There was a decent amount of contact there before the ball got there. But I think you'd rather have him be a little bit more aggressive than a little bit less aggressive, and that ends up being a solid rep for Ricks to get the Eagles defense off the field.
Ryan Rico punting it away, and Avery Williams going to have a chance to return this if he can get past the first man, but he could not. So the Eagles get it back. 4:19 to go till halftime. And Eli Ricks happy he was able to step up and get his defensive unit off the field.
I think I've ever seen another ring that has things popping out of it like that.
Defensive unit getting it done. Cincinnati, after scoring early, being turned away their last couple of times with the football. Now McKee tries to answer. Going downfield, tough throw. And that is incomplete. That's going to be a very tough catch for Darius Cooper to make in traffic with DJ Ivey right there.
McKee is very lucky that that was not picked off. You don't see him put the ball in harm's way like that very often. He did not read that correctly. He did not see the Bengals defender sitting and waiting on it right there. And it's a really nice play there by DJ Ivey. I don't think McKee saw him at all. Probably should have been intercepted.
So 2nd and 10 now. Two receivers to either side and an empty backfield for Tanner McKee. Blitz coming. Went the other way. And gets a positive yards for Anais Smith up on the far side.
You gotta love the pre-snap chess match, right? McKee changed the protection, Scott. He changed the protection to go left. The Bengals ended up dropping that guy, and they brought the slot corner off the right. Credit to McKee for knowing who was unblocked and having to get rid of the ball before that guy got to him. McKee's having a nice night.
The Eagles are 0 for 3, though, on 3rd down. Trying it once again here. And McKee down the sideline. It's there. It's caught. It's a first down. And this is a very nice night, thank you, for Johnny Wilson in the first half.
Johnny Wilson should be an ideal back shoulder fade target, right? Again, it's man-to-man coverage, and you're always worried about him going by you, throwing up top. That time, McKee elected to do the back shoulder throw, and his arms are just so long that if the corner is running with him inside, you'd think you could throw that back shoulder ball to Johnny Wilson with those go-go gadget arms whenever you want.
Crossing the 3-minute mark left in the first half as McKee goes right back to the air, and that's Dillon. Once again, catches the ball well out of the backfield. And inside the 43-yard line for a good gain on first down.
I'm glad you said that, Scott, because there's a perception that Dillon at 6 foot 250 is really just a battering ram type. But he can catch the ball, and so can Johnny Wilson. Haven't been a lot of reports of Wilson making that many plays at training camp, but man, he's been making them tonight under the lights when it means the most.
Over these 3 weeks, you know who the top 3 receivers are, but there's still questions remaining and jobs to be won. There's another one of those receivers trying to do just that. Coming back to the near side, Darius Cooper. He's going to get it down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line, a 14-yard pickup.
And Cooper is the undrafted free agent from Tarleton State that he has made some plays in practice over and over again. He's a guy that has stepped up and made plays. He had an unbelievable year last year in college football at the FCS level.
Now he's got his team on the move as we hit the 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. Putting together another big offseason. All kinds of moving parts in terms of what might happen with some spots on this team, and we have watched all of those moves work out very well in recent years. Meanwhile, the new offensive coordinator has seen his team play a pretty efficient offensive first half.
They have, and this is a really valuable situation here now for Kevin Petullo, right? You want to go through these game situations, 2 minutes remaining, Obviously, they want to score a touchdown, but they want to do it taking as much time off the clock as possible to leave the Bengals as little time as possible after this possession.
Started on the ground, and Dillon banging his way down inside the 20 to the 18. 8 yards on that carry and a quick timeout called by Cincinnati.
Well, and this is what A.J. Dillon can do. He is a mover of piles. 6 foot, 247 pounds, and even after the contact, he's going to keep driving those legs. He had a squat off with Saquon Barkley this offseason. They were repping well over 500 pounds, and he drove for an extra 3 yards there. So both teams there, Scott, did what they should do, right? The Eagles ran the ball because they wanted to either run clock or force the Bengals to use a timeout. The Bengals correctly used their timeout. They're trying to give their offense as much time as possible after this Eagles drive.
Bengals with 2 timeouts left. And the Eagles looking at a 2nd down and 2. Right back to the ground, and Dillon, first down. And once again, driving ahead down inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and goal for Philadelphia as Cincinnati uses another timeout.
How about that jump cut by A.J. Dillon? Watch the big man. He's behind right here. He's going to go whoop. I mean, there's an unblocked defender right there, and Dillon's got a little bit more wiggle than people think. When you have that body type, people think it's just a plow forward guy. He can catch the ball, and he's got better movement skills than people recognize. That's a heck of a run. That's a really good sign for an Eagles offense that would love to be able to get good production from Dillon and Shipley and not have to have Saquon Barkley, that guy right there, carry the ball as much as he did last year.
They got a 1st and goal now. Cincinnati with 1 timeout left. Back to Dillon. This time, a little bit more friction on the way as Cincinnati will use their final timeout. Dillon got it down just inside the 7. A.J. Dillon spent that period of time in Green Bay, became a pillar of the community in the state of Wisconsin. I said to him yesterday, you were on like senator or congressman track in Wisconsin for the amount of time he spent out in the community. I'll tell you what, if he gets the opportunity, you're going to get to really know and love this guy in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he is a very impressive young man that we spoke with yesterday. I'm thrilled that he's getting this opportunity. You know, when you see your football mortality and you think you might be done, he said, I just want to go out there tomorrow night and pretend like I'm in the backyard with my friends and just enjoy playing football. No pressure, no stress, just having fun.
On 2nd and goal, McKee sees the protection break down immediately. He was trying to throw it out and swing it out of the backfield to Dillon, but he didn't even have time to set his feet. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Well, that's a double whammy right there, right? Let's see what happened. Nobody ends up blocking the end defender. I can't tell. I think it was Granson 83 that just let him go. I don't know if it's Johnny Wilson 89 or Granson 83 that was supposed to get a piece of that edge defender. But not only is it ineffective play, but it stops the clock, which is exactly what the Bengals wanted.
So 3rd and goal now. A passing situation for McKee. Firing. Got it. Touchdown. Right in the middle of the field, Anais Smith on the post for a 6-yard touchdown and the lead before halftime.
Maybe Tanner McKee's just this good. You know, after that 2nd down play where, by the way, he made the right play, throwing the ball down in the ground and eating it, he has a good rapport with a lot of these guys that started that Giants game with him in Week 18. They got all the reps that week. They started that game. They won the game. And he feels very comfortable with that group.
Extra point is low but good. And a 3-point lead with $1:33 to go here till halftime.
So the Bengals actually had a safety to that side because they were worried about Johnny Wilson. Anais Smith is the middle of the 3 receivers. Granson runs up and he runs the linebacker off in that zone coverage. That is exactly how you draw it up. Granson who's competing for the third-string tight end job. He did his job of running the linebacker off. Smith came right underneath it. McKee made the right read, and he loves it.
He's 12 out of 15 for 164 yards, a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, and he just led a pretty 10-play, 72-yard drive for the lead.
And Scott, one of those was a drop by Calcaterra, and one of those was the unblocked edge defender on the bootleg where he just threw it in the ground. By my count, McKee's had one poor throw or decision all night.
Elliott with a line drive kickoff. Bengals an opportunity for the return. Jermaine Burton knocked down, and we've got flags flying on the field. We'll have to wait and see.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 43. Passed it into the goal, first down.
But Tanner McKee, whose night might well be over after a half of football, has looked good.
Well, he got the tush-push touchdown. I don't know if that's his first one or not. I can't remember. Other than that, I love the way he trusts his guys in some of those contested catch situations. He's found Cooper a couple times there. He looked the safety off. Then he came back to Johnny Wilson. I mean, there's a reason why he was a 5-star recruit, and everybody, including Nick Saban down in Alabama, wanted him. Tanner McKee, all he does is play well. You got to be excited about him as the number 2 quarterback here in Philly.
After the Eagles, do you think about using timeouts if you can get a stop here? Browning in all kinds of trouble, couldn't get the screen, and throws it away. They had a flag down all the way out near the 30-yard line.
Holding, defense number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That one is a killer of a penalty. Because you had the 3 timeouts, right? Brandon Johnson gets called for the hold, gives him a new first down. Instead of 2nd and 10, it's 1st and 10, and you've only got 1:18 left. Browning out of the shotgun. Blitz coming. Firing incomplete. Good coverage across the middle on Charlie Jones.
Take a look at the hold on the play before. Left side of your screen, you're watching 35 Brandon Johnson right there. Right there. Kind of tough to tell. But obviously with the in-breaking route, the back judge felt like he was tugging the jersey a little bit there.
On 2nd down. And that is, oh my, an interception that was not for Eli Ricks. He was stunned that that ball basically hit him right between the chest and the face mask.
That's exactly right. That ball was thrown so poorly that it fooled Ricks, right? I mean, Ricks had good coverage, but he wasn't expecting that ball to come right to him. He was looking to break the route, still got to make that play. And, you know, you always wonder what goes through the heads of these guys at times when they miss a play like that.
3rd down. If the Eagles can get a hold here, they get the football back. And not going to be a whole lot of room to operate for Jermaine Burton. But the Eagles will take the quick timeout with 1:02 left to go. And that'll bring the Cincinnati punt unit onto the field. Smile Munden making the tackle.
You know, my point on Eli Ricks, Scott, is in the moment like this, you know, he's, in his mind, battling for a starting job. I don't know, they just traded for a corner. Maybe he feels like he's battling for a roster spot now that they traded for Jacorian Bennett, and he knows just how significant it would have been to make that play, and it probably would have been a pick 6. You know, you don't want to have those things go through your head, but when you're a guy that's battling for a spot, those are some of the things that you think about.
And that's a smile with a little bit of frustration behind it. So now Rico's going to punt it away, and Nia Smith is standing back inside his own 30-yard line. Eagles have a little room to operate here, and 2 timeouts. Smith back on his heels as he made that catch. Trying to get a block on the outside. Look out. Across the 50. They tried to get a caravan down the sideline. He made it all the way down to the Bengals 30. 46 yards on the return.
And this is one of the reasons why they drafted him in the 5th round. Watch, he just makes a couple guys miss right there. They almost hit the wall. Another guy. That was 2 clean cuts by Smith. Loved the blocking downfield from Granson, as well as Eli Jenkins. Mac McWilliams, 22, was out there. Terrific job by Michael Clay's special teams. And now Tanner McKee and the Eagles are right back in business. Plenty of time here.
Night's not over yet, Tanner. You've got 45 seconds and another scoring opportunity. Out of the shotgun. Dumping it down for Dillon. And Dillon tiptoes out of bounds. Out at the 20-yard line, a yard shy of a first down. That is Elijah Cooks being carted off.
Boy, I don't like seeing that. If you heard me say, oh, on the last kickoff, that's because Cooks made the tackle, but I could tell that he injured something and it was bothering him. You know, as a down-the-line receiver, he's trying to show value on special teams, but as a receiver, maybe not quite the tackling technique that he'd like to have.
2nd down and 1. McKee over the top. Got it. Touchdown. Darius Cooper. A 20-yard laser from Tanner McKee, who's got him in the end zone again. He's having fun tonight.
Well, I'm having fun tonight watching him. And Darius Cooper from Tarleton State. The guy had over 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, almost 20 yards per catch. He's making and stating his case to be a part of this football team. And Tanner McKee making everybody in Philly feel real good about their backup quarterback.
Elliott back on for the extra point after Mann kicked the last one. That's 14 late points here in the half. The Eagles with a 10-point lead.
Let's watch Cooper's route here. Looks like it's press man coverage. He just beats him right off the edge. I don't know why Ivy slowed down. Ivy slows down. Cooper has that extra burst. Ran a 4.49 at the pro day. Kind of has more of like a running back body. But McKee, as usual, put it right on him. And McKee, probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, Scott, have we seen him play poorly yet?
No.
I'm trying to remember all the preseason games the last 3 years. When he's gotten into the regular season against the Cowboys and the Giants last year, I mean, all he does is consistently get the job done at a very, very high level.
And the kickoff will be fielded. Right well, middle of the field out near the 30. Tanner McKee found out that the trade was made that made him the de facto #2 quarterback. And he found out while he was in between 2 workouts out in California taking a nap.
Nothing wrong with taking a nap. I'm a big nap guy.
He woke up and he said, his dad came to him and said, your phone's buzzing off the hook. You got to call people. Something's going on here.
Dad, mom, wife, everybody said, Howie Roseman's calling you, your agent's calling you. You'd think they would have woke him up.
Southern California.
I mean, that must be super important not to answer when Howie Roseman calls.
I'll tell you what, he had himself a heck of a night here and a super first half as the Eagles put up 24 points, all of them in some way or another as a result of Tanner McKee. Halftime here at Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles lead it by 10. That was a big half in a lot of ways for a number of Eagles players. And a 24-14 lead for the Eagles as we get set for second half action. Dave Spadaro standing by with the head coach.
Head coach Nick Sirianni, what jumped out at you there in that first half? Tanner McKee, 193 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, score.
Did a really good job in the 2-minute drive and then just taking completions and being efficient. 2-minute drive, we were able to get out of bounds, save that timeout, and then they take a go shot, which they made a great play on. So that was really good situational football.
How beneficial to go against the Bengals, number 1?
Yeah, it's good for us, right? It's good for all those guys playing. Want to see us tackle better in some of those situations. But that's good work for us.
And Johnny Wilson and Nia Smith, 2 really nice performances.
Well, they've had a good camp to date, and so their habits are taking over. They've worked their butts off. They've had a good camp. It's really reflective of what we've seen in practice so far.
And quarterback rotation in the second half, coach?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. And when you look back at that first half, I think he touched on some very big points there. Some people that are looking to make an impression and have done so already over the course of camp, getting a chance to do it at real-time speed tonight.
No question. I mean, the big story is obviously Tanner McKee. He was absolutely lights out there in the first half yet again. But as Coach Sirianni just talked about, it wasn't just Tanner McKee. There were a number of those young wide receivers that were also stepping up and making plays. How about Johnny Wilson? Not once, but twice going up and skying for the ball. Smith had the punt return and the touchdown, and then the undrafted rookie free agent, Darius Cooper, he was out there making plays as well. Love the back shoulder throw by Johnny Wilson. Terrific half there for not only McKee, but these young receivers as well.
Johnny Wilson's number is almost gaudy at 3 catches for 73 yards. And when you start taking a look at what they got done over the course of that half, you talked about the relationship that Tanner McKee has had with some of those receivers that he has worked with a little bit more, and it was apparent.
Especially Nia Smith and Johnny Wilson. They were all on the roster all season last year, working together, including in that game against the Giants.
And so a touchback will begin our second half. And the Eagles offense takes over. And, I said that was going to be it for Tanner McKee. I was clearly wrong. And Nick Sirianni said, we'll see how it goes. Well, it goes that Tanner McKee coming right back out again.
Well, I'm glad he's still out there. Tanner McKee makes my life better. It makes our life better with the way he performs in these preseason games. I think sometimes McKee might be out there. Maybe they want to see more from some of the young skill guys or the receivers. Obviously, they've seen quite a bit from Tanner, but he gives them an opportunity to get a lot more reps with Wilson and Smith and those guys out there as they're trying to determine who of those guys is going to be on this roster. And it looks like they might be missing a guy. Maybe not. I'm not sure why they were looking over at the sideline like that.
Well, the first play of the second half. Going to be some second effort running. And a big-time gain for Robinson. Keelan Robinson coming to the near side. Moves the sticks on the first play of the second half.
That's a nice run there by Robinson. He was a 5th-round pick last year by the Jags. They cut him in the spring, and the Eagles claimed him off waivers right away. He's a returner. He's good out of the backfield, and they've just had so many good running backs at Texas. He never really got much of a chance. When you think about Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Brooks and Roschon Johnson and Jadon Blue, it's tough to get playing time at running back for the Longhorns.
He is split out to the right side now as they go out of the empty backfield. McKee continuing to buy time with his feet and throws it away.
And again, that's an incompletion for Tanner McKee. That's a winning play. That's the right play. He bought time. He's a better athlete than I think I thought he was. There was a little bit of leakage on the right side. He felt it, was able to escape. He's able to get the edge when he needs to. And then thought better of trying to force it and threw it away.
Because of that Dallas pass that we showed a little bit earlier, did you realize that he's the first in NFL history with 2 touchdown passes in 5 or fewer attempts?
I'm not surprised by anything McKee does at this point.
Cut back running for Robinson. A flag drops on the play.
Holding. Offense number 79. Penalty decline. Second down.
Matt Pryor nodding his head. You got me.
Instead of watching the hold, let's watch Drew Kendall, 66, the rookie center. This is a tough block that he's being asked to pull off. He gets a little help from Kennard, but then, oh, I like the pancake and the finish by Kendall. Kennard just gave him a little bit of love there, and Kendall did the rest. Eagles really hoping he steps up as the backup center. Had an awesome, awesome career at Boston College.
McKee had time, and he's got a first down. Guess who? Darius Cooper once again down to the Cincinnati 40.
Man, I'm loving this. This guy was playing for Tarleton State last year as the Eagles go right back on the football. DJ Ivey can't cover him. DJ Ivey trying to get hands on him, and Cooper gives him the quick swim move at the line.
And now the pocket breaks down, the protection breaks down, and down goes McKee. Cincinnati finally gets to the quarterback for the first time tonight as rookie Barrett Carter out of Clemson gets the sack.
All right, let's see Robinson here against Carter. That's going to be who he's supposed to pick up. Actually, I take that back. That's the left tackle. Hinton is too late. Toth and Hinton need to sort out those two guys. Robinson did the job. That's on the O-line. Hinton, the rookie out of Michigan at left tackle, he's got to stop moving backwards and stone that linebacker.
Right down the middle of the field. And Kylan Granson hauls it in.
Granson's one of several veteran tight ends that the Eagles brought in this offseason that have played a bunch of ball. Fourth-round pick for the Colts, played for them the last 4 years. They also signed Harrison Bryant, who played for the Browns and Raiders the last 5 years. Those guys are competing for the third and maybe fourth tight end job for the Eagles, especially now that Goddard is back. There was some debate and doubt about that in the offseason.
Quick throw. Again, it is Granson, who just sat down in the middle of the coverage and hauls it in at the 38-yard line. On fourth down, you have your choices to make, and they're going to choose a long field goal attempt.
Well, Jake Elliott historically has been money on field goals of 50-plus. He had, I thought, his worst year as an Eagle a year ago, but then was able to rally those last couple of playoff games.
And when it mattered late in the season, he was making them. This one will be a 55-yard attempt. You know he's got the leg for it. And that one kind of knuckles, and he misses it wide right. We got a flag on the play.
Offside. Defense number 38. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Well, I would think the Eagles would go for it here now.
I think Tanner McKee putting his helmet on probably is the best clue to that.
Look at the bottom of the screen. I think they just lined up in the neutral zone. I think that they might have got 38 Ivy. I didn't hear the number. But this gives McKee and the Eagles a heck of a chance here. So fourth and let's call it 2.5. I would expect McKee to get the ball out of his hands quickly. There's a bunch set to the left. They're going to try and get some confusion. Well, now Wilson goes the other way. But still, look at this bunch set and see if McKee fires it to someone who runs a quick out-breaking route. Or maybe they're just doing the hard count.
They do snap it. McKee throws, got it, first down. Darius Cooper again with a big catch. 5 more yards, and he moves the sticks as the Eagles offense stays on the field.
You can't stop Darius Cooper. You can only hope to contain him. He's going to come in from the left side. That was where the 2-receiver set was. And it's not a ton of separation, but McKee puts it right on his hands and leads him. It's just a perfect throw.
This time he has time and throws again. Got it. That's Granson down inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark him at the 7. 15 more yards.
Heck of a route for Granson, who's also pretty good on special teams as a tight end. He's working against that zone coverage. It's a 2-deep zone, right? So he ran the out route behind the corner in the flat in front of the safety.
10th play of the drive, and it's not going anywhere. This time, Keelan Robinson had no chance to get any forward momentum going as he's dropped back at the 14.
the offensive linemen looking. They're all looking at the Jumbotron. They're all shaking their head. I think it was Miles Hinton, the rookie left tackle, that got beat across the face there. I think those guys will have some coaching points for the big rookie when he comes off after this drive.
On second down, quick throw. Once again, it's Cooper. Down inside the 5. He just has a knack for being able to run a route. He looks like a polished veteran receiver.
I mean, 1,500 yards, 76 catches, 16 touchdowns, almost 20 yards a catch. I don't care what level of college football you're playing. That is super productive, and he's absolutely turning some heads with this performance this evening.
3,185 yards in his career, 14 100-yard games. On third and goal, that's where they're looking again. And off into the corner. But Aya Smith could not get any separation as McKee kind of wafted it in there. I'm going to imagine on fourth and goal from the 5 that they might leave the offense out on the field.
I'm not sure. Oh, there's an injury. I didn't know what the whistle was blowing for, but there's a Bengal down in the corner of the end zone. I didn't see a flag.
That is almost out of our line of sight past the corner of the end zone. Tyson Anderson.
Tyson Anderson, the safety from Toledo.
So the Eagles get a little time now with the timeout on the field to make their decision. And it looks like that decision is made as McKee is coming off, and they are going to take the field goal attempt. Good news for Tyson Anderson. He's back up under his own power. So Elliott, who just missed from 55, and it was not a good kick. It's going to get more of a chip shot. He had a 44-yarder that he made earlier. This one from 23. And it is good. The Eagles expand their lead with now 17 unanswered points and a 13-point advantage here in the third. Talked a little bit about what we might be seeing on the sidelines. Stout and Mailata double-teaming Miles Hinton right now. And that's a coaching point after the end of that drive that went 13 plays, better than 5.5 minutes, and resulted in a field goal. But speaking of drives, the Eagles have been turned away once tonight. Their third drive, they punted it away. They've come away with points on the other 5.
That is not going to make Bengals fans feel better about their defense.
Their defense has been an Achilles heel of this team. And Cincinnati paid a lot of money for their quarterback and wide receivers. Not so much for their defense, and that's a point of contention in Cincy right now. But for that man, he could care less. What he's looking at right now is a terrific night of moving the team with efficiency, making good choices and good throws with the football.
My phone is blowing up, Scott, whether it's text messages or people hit me up on Twitter X at Ross Tucker NFL. Everybody loves Tanner McKee. My buddies are texting me how many games would the Eagles win with Tanner McKee. That's when you know you have a pretty good performance in the preseason.
And his role is very clearly defined on this team, but after watching what you're watching tonight, should there be a bump in the road, I feel pretty confident with him coming onto the field.
Well, what's interesting is he's a very different player than Jalen Hurts, right? So the one thing you don't know is he doesn't bring the running element, which is such a big part of why Hurts and the Eagles are so successful.
Wait a minute, you didn't see the tush push?
Yeah, no, but Hurts opens running lanes. Hurts makes it easier for the O-line and Barkley. That's not McKee's thing.
That's good pressure coming from the outside. Ty Robinson, who got home once.
The other thing about Hurts that's incredibly impressive to me, two things. It really does feel like he plays his best when it matters the most, doesn't it? I mean, both Super Bowls, he's been lights out. And to think he's done it, this will be his 6th play caller in his 6 years with the Eagles with Kevin Patullo. That makes all the success that Hurts has had even more impressive.
Since he became the starter, he's 45-17 and has won 6 playoff games. And a Super Bowl MVP. 3rd down and 6 now from the 35. Browning going up top, got a man, got the ball there, but Charlie Jones couldn't haul it in down that left sideline. We're talking about Jalen Hurts, the birthday guy. One of 4 active quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. We told you about the 6 playoff wins and that record since 2021, second best to Patrick Mahomes.
And by the way, I am a believer that wins are a quarterback stat. It's obviously an imperfect quarterback stat, but so are all of them. Yards is yards after catch a lot. Interceptions, the ball might get tipped or your guy might drop it. There is no perfect stat, but I still think if we're going to count one-loss record for head coaches, we should count one-loss record for quarterbacks. That's the goal. I mean, that's what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, especially with all the emphasis placed on the quarterback position over the last couple decades.
Holding. Receiving team number 34. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
So the punt return results in a penalty. The Eagles will start deep in their own territory when we come back. New quarterback for the Eagles, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Thompson-Robinson has been awesome himself in the preseason the last couple of years for the Browns, including 2 years ago here in Philly. He just hasn't fared nearly as well in regular season action.
You want to say that playing quarterback for the Browns these days generally comes with a certain pull over it.
Well, they've got, I think, 6 on the roster right now, last time I checked. 6 quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns.
Thompson-Robinson played 7 games, started 2 of them for Cleveland last year, threw for 440 yards.
It's the touchdown-interception ratio that's really cost him in his regular season starts the last 2 years. Let's see how he plays here in green and white.
Fired that one in. You saw the arm strength to be able to find a tight window and sneak it in there to Nick Muse.
That's one of the things that Kevin Patul, the offensive coordinator, said to us about DTR. He said he throws it better than what we saw on tape, and you can see right there he put some legit zip on it, getting the ball to Muse, who has a Super Bowl championship ring. He was on the practice squad the last 2 weeks of this playoffs. That, my friends, is good timing.
Ooh, and that throw with much too much on it and behind Wilson.
Yeah, that needs to be a layup, right? You know, and he knows it. In the NFL, if you have a wide open receiver on an in-breaking route, he's almost 6'7", 230. Put it on him. Although, look at that again. There was too much heat on that. I bet you Johnny Wilson would say he still should have caught it, right? I thought he put a little too much on it. It was a little bit behind him, but Aaron Moorhead, the receiver coach, is saying to him, you still have to catch that. So I'm going to put that 50-50, 50 on DTR, 50 on Johnny Wilson for not hauling that in.
Man to punt it away from his own 5. We have a twisting kick and room for a return for Burton. Breaking tackles on the left side. And he is down inside the 30, still on his feet. And a big-time return from Jermaine Burton of 31 yards after the 40-yard punt.
Well, and the Bengals are desperate to get anything out of Burton, whose rookie year was a big nothing burger. They took him in the 3rd round last year out of Alabama with the idea that he would be a major contributor, and he was not that at all.
Season ended on a controversial note. A domestic dispute. He didn't travel with the team to their last game in Pittsburgh.
Eagles have not gotten much of a pass rush here tonight, Scott.
They have not.
Out of the 2s or the 3s, that is something that they're going to be disappointed in, because they need backup defensive linemen who can get to the quarterback.
On first down. Head down and pounded through the middle.
I'm telling you, Scott, this guy can play. I love watching Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Watch how quickly he keys, diagnoses, and attacks. He sees it, he's gone. He's not going to let that tight end block him. Get them before they get you. He is such a heady, smart player, very different body type and style of play than his father, but still extremely effective.
And they are living on the ground with Taj Brooks.
It's a nice stick there by Andre Sam. That's what he does. He is not afraid to put his nose in there.
So the defense will try to stand up again on 3rd down now. Call it 5. They've got to get down to the 13-yard line.
You know, they haven't given up any points, Scott, after those first 2 Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase drives. The defense has held up pretty darn well.
See if they can do it again now on 3rd down. Browning's throw, his receiver fell down. And did he catch the ball?
No.
Okay.
No, Trotter almost did. Trotter's frustrated. Is this the 3rd dropped interception by Eagles youngsters? That ball came out weird. You're right, his receiver fell. Trotter almost got his hands underneath it. Decent effort there by Tanner Hudson,
upside
the
down
Bengals tight end, to try to catch it from his keister.
And yep, Trotter had the opportunity, but couldn't haul it in. So a 36-yard attempt for McPherson. Trying to get the Bengals their first point since the first quarter. And it is good. 5:19 left to go here in the 3rd. Eagles still holding a 10-point lead. West Pharmaceutical Services are by your side for a healthier world. They're back this season donating 30 trees for each successful field goal. Visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/West to learn more. Let's go down to Dave Spadaro.
All right, Scott, I'm here with Eagles running back Saquon Barkley. And Saquon, another member of the Madden 99 Club. Big deal to you?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get recognized for your talent on the football field, it's a big deal, especially coming from Madden and being the cover of Madden and being a fan of Madden for a very long time. So to be in 99 Club and be in the cover, you're in a group of people that are heck of football players, so it's always an honor.
Are you any good at playing Madden?
I'm decent. I'm decent. I probably was a little better when I was younger than now, but I think with me being on the cover, I'm probably going to play more.
A dream season in 2024, Super Bowl championship, #1 jersey seller. Also, great recognition, great moment for you.
Yeah, I mean, and the only way that happens is with the fans here. I was saying it earlier when we have, what's it called, tush push, when we did a tush push and it got crazy loud in here, I looked at some of the rookies and I was like, there's no other place in the world that gets crazy for a play like that. And it just goes to show you the type of fan and the fans we have and support that we have. So, that's not able to be accomplished without them.
Saquon, I know the focus is on 2025, but you did get the ring fairly recently here. Amazing moment for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, something you dream about as a little kid. The ring ceremony was amazing. And get to bring everybody back. Got to see some guys we haven't seen in a little bit. Honestly, I've only put it on once since my nephew won a flag, a 7-on-7 tournament. Oh, let's go. Sorry about that.
I like the play-by-play.
Yeah, we won a 7-on-7 tournament, so I put it on for him. But it's amazing, and it was a heck of a year. Last year it was, but that's the beauty of it. We got a new start, and love being out here and supporting the guys.
Yeah, what are you feeling about this 2025 Eagles team?
I mean, we always, I feel like it could be special. Another special year. We have the talent. We have the guys that come in and buy in. The work ethic is amazing. The mindset's amazing. We have an unbelievable coaching staff. The organization from top to bottom is unbelievable. So everything that we want to accomplish is all out there. We just got to go out there and take it and do it together.
I think people out there they don't see the love that you guys have for each other and how you're rooting for everyone to have success. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a crazy business. I told the running back before, it's like we're going out there, we're competing against each other, and there's only so many spots. You're not only competing for this team, you're competing for all other 31 teams, but just we're we're with each other in the building from 7 to 7 every single day. We're grinding, sweating, all the bloods, that the cliche answer they give there, but that's the bond that you build, and obviously we cut it down to a certain amount, but that carries over into the season, and especially guys who've been in the league for a very long time, the relationship just even grows. So you got guys out there, you just want to see them go out there and make plays.
Finally, you're feeling good about what you know about the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think KP's doing a tremendous job. I think you see that right now. There we go, another dot. Good play, boy. Yeah, I think you see that right there. But, yeah, we're all buying in. We're working hard. The defense is really good. Obviously, Vic and those guys, this is the year that they had last year, so camp is super competitive, and that's a good makeup of a really good team when every day it's not just one side winning. We're going back and forth. It's improving. So we're really super excited about the season.
Saquon, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good luck this year.
All right, Ross, any sport in history, has there been a more perfect first season for a star arriving in one town than his was here last year?
Not that I'm aware of. And what's so heartwarming about Saquon is he's from here, grew up in Allentown, Eastern PA, but he's as good off the field as he is on the field. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have met him and just said he's the greatest guy. When he was with the Giants, I had him do a video for my nephew, Sebastian. I mean, he is just everything you would hope for in a superstar and then some.
Seen a couple of plays by the rookies here, and a fumble by a rookie. Loose ball on the field. I believe the Eagles got back on it. Derek Powell had a second effort run early in this drive. Taylor Morin made a nice catch later on, and Cameron Williams, another rookie, just fell on that fumble.
Let's see what happened here. Yeah, I think DTR put it a little bit too far in front of him there for Derek Powell, who put up huge numbers in college, including over 1,000 yards rushing 3 straight years, 80 receptions. Another FCS guy.
On third down, completed pass to E.J. Jenkins. Going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
This will be an interesting decision for Sirianni and Patul. I think they're going to go for it. They're waving Braden Mann, the punter, waving him back. DTR is very effective with his legs. He can run. I would not be surprised. Sirianni's having a good time. I would not be surprised if Thompson Robinson's legs are a factor in some way on this play, even if it's an RPO.
So on fourth down, Thompson Robinson straight pass, throws incomplete. He skied that over in the direction of Wilson, but well covered by Braylon Lux. And Cincinnati will take over with 1:46 left to go here in the third quarter. Got good news and bad news. Eagles open practice Sunday is a sellout. Due to another large event in the stadium area, fans are encouraged to take public transportation. Those of you who do drive, parking will be free before 6 p.m. How about that, a full building for public practice?
That's incredible. I mean, that's what Saquon Barkley was just talking about when he said how loud it got for the tush push. Eagles fans are just a different breed. And, Eagles fans, Scott, I feel like have always been diehard. Back when I was a fan of Randall Cunningham and Reggie White in the 80s and the 90s, but I can't ever remember it being like this, especially in terms of traveling to away games.
Yep.
Every Eagles away game, it's amazing how many stadiums they take over.
Well, the Bengals back out at it. Taj Brooks continues his heavy workload. Take a look at the top 5 draft picks this year. What do you see as the common theme running through this, Ross?
All on defense.
Yep.
And they know that they're young on defense. They're remarkably young on defense. And I think there's a real chance all of those guys make contributions this year. I mean, Makuba could start at safety. Campbell could start at linebacker. I'd expect Robinson to be in the D-tackle rotation. And wouldn't be shocked if, maybe it's an injury or something else, if Smile Munden and Mac McWilliams get time as well.
And flags fly. It'll be a procedure call.
Step infraction. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Till second down.
We'll take a look at the ranks last season. Total defense first, points allowed second, passing and yards per play both first. And if you hear the league kind of quaking a little bit in their boots, it's because 7 starters are back on Nick Sirianni's defense. And they've reloaded in terms of the talent they brought in. It's going to be an interesting year. And there you go. As if on cue, getting around the outside, Patrick Johnson.
This guy's made a lot of plays for us here in the preseason over the last 5 years. Watch the right side of your screen. It's going to be speed and hands. Watch. Speed and then hands. I like the arm and rip up by Johnson going around the Bengals left tackle, number 74, Jalen Rivers. That is well done by Johnson. Unfortunately, there was a penalty called on the Eagles down the field.
That sack will not stand. I believe it was a hands to the face call. As it is, a first down for the Bengals at their own 46. The closing seconds of the third quarter. Jake Browning getting a lot of time tonight. Trying to set up a screen. Another flag. Look out. This goes back the other way. An interception. You're going to take my sack away? Fine. I'm going to pick the ball off. Now, we've got another flag on the field.
Illegal shift. Offense number 32. Penalties decline. Correction 82. Penalties decline. First down, Philadelphia.
Patrick Johnson's been doing this for 5 years. Drafted by the Eagles last year was the first year he actually got cut. Played with the Giants, but watch this move by Johnson. He reads it. It's an inside move. He feels it, gets off, right hand stab, then he catches it, bobbles it. I don't know if it'll be the Eagles, but Patrick Johnson's out here proving he's going to be on some team. You make your own luck in this sport and in life, and Patrick Johnson's out there getting it done.
First turnover of the ball game, and the Eagles right on the edge of the red zone now. DTR throwing to a wide open E.J. Jenkins, and Jenkins up that far sideline. He's going to have a first down at the 7, a 13-yard pickup.
Man, I'm happy for Patrick Johnson. Nice catch there by Eli Jenkins, who really was a part of this team last year, got promoted a bunch based on how he played in these preseason games, but Johnson getting another opportunity back here in Philly, and maybe he's the guy to give them some quality snaps as a backup off the edge.
Well, he's the reason we're going to go to the fourth quarter with the Eagles looking at a first and goal off the game's first turnover. 3 quarters in the books. 1 more quarter to go. It's been an interest trying to add to that lead now. They'll start the fourth quarter with a first and goal, the 7-yard line. That guy, if you're joining us late, Tanner McKee had himself a night. And with most of the regulars sitting, Dorian Thompson-Robinson trying to use the short field to get his team back in the end zone.
Empty set, alert quarterback legs.
There they are. And Thompson-Robinson gets stopped before he can get to that hole. Not a whole lot there.
As soon as you see an empty set with a mobile quarterback, you got to be thinking about their legs. I don't know what the Eagles' blocking scheme was there, but they had 2 for 2 on the left side, and they left one guy totally unblocked. I'm not sure if that's how they were supposed to block it, but it really didn't give Thompson-Robinson a chance.
And back to the ground. Getting spun is Powell as he hits the 5-yard line. So a third down and goal coming up.
So far, so good for that guy, huh, Scott? Kevin Patullo?
Kevin Patullo's had a good night.
I don't know that they've had a pre-snap penalty. I don't want to jinx him here, but I haven't noticed anything bad with the operation. And everything he's handled so far in this game is like a guy that's been doing it for years.
This offense has 395 yards. Third down and goal. DTR goes up top. It's there and incomplete. Trying to get it up into the hands of Johnny Wilson, who's made a couple catches like that tonight. He had to kind of turn his body, though. The Eagles are going to settle for a field goal attempt. Jake Elliott's made them from 44 and 36. This field goal a 23-yarder. And it is good. Get some late flags in this second half. What if this changes things? He's wondering if it changes things. Yep.
Personal foul. Defense number 93, roughing the snapper. After this to the goal, automatic first down.
That really changes things.
You cannot hit the snapper. The Eagles, by the way, I believe have a backup snapper in there. Yeah, and you can see right in the middle, you cannot hit the snapper. They protect those guys so much more than they used to back in the day. Christian Johnstone is the backup with Charlie Hewlett, the veteran snapper that the Eagles signed, being banged up.
So first and goal, and an easy route to the end zone for the first touchdown for Shunderek Powell. Little 2-yard run after the penalty, and that'll stretch the Birds' lead to 16.
Well, let me just tell you, if you're 5'7", $180, and you get signed by an NFL team, you are quick. And you can see it right there. I mean, look at the juke by Shunderek, but watch him right. Whoop. I mean, he's got some serious quicks. That second move right there, you got to have some serious lateral agility at 5'7", $180 to get signed by an NFL team.
Ran for 4,000 yards in 44 college games with moves probably exactly like that one. An interception and a mistake by the Bengals defense as the Eagles stretch their lead here early in the fourth quarter. Through a year-round initiative, Eagles Autism Foundation fosters sensory-friendly environments, supports adaptive employment opportunities, and funds groundbreaking research and community programs. By partnering with families, advocates, and organizations, EAF is helping to break down barriers, celebrate neurodiversity, and create a culture of acceptance that empowers individuals with autism. Learn more and donate at Eagles Foundation, EaglesAutismFoundation.org.
I think I said this last year, Scott, but I played for 5 teams, and none of them had anything even close to what the Eagles have built here with the Eagles Autism Foundation. Ryan Hammond and her team, it's incredible. And a shout out to the Kelsey family, Jason and Kylie in particular. I attended a couple of their events down in Sea Isle City. They raised $1 million.
I saw that.
Eagles Autism Foundation in 2 days. Truly incredible. And it's a family affair, and Jason and Kylie put so much time and effort into it. It's really special just to be a small part of it.
A.J. Woods spent last year on the practice squad. First down to Isaiah Williams on the kick return. And the Bengals started from their own 24.
So we got Patrick Johnson making some plays along the defensive line. I'd like to see some more guys step up here on the D-line. D-line depth matters. These guys are going to rotate in with the starters. Eagles need them to play at a high level.
And again, it's talked about a lot at this time of year, but you've got players on the field right now who are playing to show what they can do, trying to ensure themselves a job moving forward into this year and into the years in the future. This is, you know, people say that the preseason game doesn't mean much. Tell that to these guys.
This means everything to not only them, but their families. They've been working their whole lives for this opportunity.
Desmond Ridder now in the game at quarterback for the Bengals, and skies one over the top of his intended receiver, Tanner McLaughlin.
Ty Robinson getting in the backfield again. You know, he did that once in the first half, Scott, and he got in the backfield so quickly he thought it was a screen, and he slowed down. Let's watch him on this one. That's a bad blocking scheme. That is not Ty Robinson. Ty, I love you, but that is a missed assignment by either the right guard or the center for the Cincinnati Bengals. Credit to Robinson for taking advantage of it.
On 3rd and 7. And that throw with all kinds of contact going on the far sideline was intended for Cole Burgess. And then it's going to end up going against the Eagles and Parry Nickerson.
Parry Nickerson, top of the screen. He's known more as a nickel corner, getting some run on the outside, and boy, he's hugging him up pretty good there. You know what is always frustrating to me in those situations, Scott? He didn't need to do that. He had absolutely fantastic coverage, and Perry's 30. I mean, he's been around a long time. He knows better than that. He had him dead to rights.
And that ultimately ends up giving the Bengals another opportunity. Harry Brightwell on a first carry.
I think Ty Robinson is going to end up being a fan favorite. Watch how he attacks run blocks. I mean, you're not going to block him with a tight end, rocking that number 9. And then the athleticism, put him at fullback, let him pancake that corner off the edge. Sit down.
And for a guy with all of that brute strength, would you peg him for somebody who once raised a camel?
Raised a what?
Camel.
I don't know what that means.
It's an animal.
Like as a pet?
Well, his neighbor had a camel, and the neighbor had to go somewhere, and he came in, stepped in, and actually helped raise the camel.
Like Napoleon Dynamite?
Something like that.
Have you ever even seen Napoleon Dynamite?
I have.
You have?
Yes, I have.
What's the name of the camel? The llama.
Multiple times. I do not remember. I have seen the film multiple times.
I can't remember if it's a llama or a camel, but Tina needs to eat her supper.
Right.
That's all I remember from the movie. All right, 3rd and 5, Eagles. We got O'Shawn Mathis, Antoine Powell-Ryland off the edge, Gabe Hall, Ty Robinson. Let's see if the 4-man rush can get there.
Trying to get home. Ritter fields very quickly, and that is all kinds of contact that made sure that pass was not going to be complete. Tariq Castro Fields steps in with a big shot up near midfield.
That is a terrific read by the former Penn Stater, Castro Fields. It's either zone coverage or he read the route quickly, and I love that he put the shoulder right in the chest of Hudson. You know, he didn't get near the head or neck area. You can still deliver a significant blow without hitting in the head or neck area and getting a penalty.
So the Eagles will get the ball back. And a return for Avery Williams. Puts them in pretty good field position out at the 25-yard line as they begin their next drive. 11-13 left to go here in preseason game number 1. New quarterback for the Eagles, rookie Kyle McCord. 6th-round draft pick out of Syracuse. Threw for nearly 4,800 yards last year for the Orange and 34 touchdowns.
I'm looking forward to this. I enjoyed watching Kyle in college, even in high school at St. Joe's Prep here in Philadelphia. Smart, accurate, tough, demonstrated track record of overcoming adversity. That's the profile of a long-time backup quarterback in the NFL.
Well, the adversity will kick in right here.
Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that's a natural thing, Scott, when you have a new quarterback come in, right? So Miles Hinton, the big left tackle, was used to first Tanner McKee, then it was DTR, and you get a new snap count, new cadence, and it's just a little bit different. Every quarterback, it's like a snowflake. No cadence is exactly the same.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
So was I.
Got a flag on the play once again.
Holding, offense number 78. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And Miles Hinton gets hit on back-to-back plays now. One of the things the Birds will be talking about this week is 9 penalties. A lot of them coming here in the second half.
It's been kind of a rough night for Miles Hinton, the rookie 6th-round pick out of Michigan. Let's see him. Hands inside there, but once he's outside the framework of your body, you can't keep grabbing him like that. It didn't look egregious there, but Hinton, you want to talk about pedigree. His father, Chris, was traded for John Elway back in '83. Colts and Broncos, perennial all-pro left tackle. Awesome, awesome football player.
He's in the Indy Ring of Honor.
Ooh.
That's a pretty move on the outside. Keelan Robinson a spin and a pickup of 14 yards to get a lot of it back.
I kind of like what I've seen from some of these down-the-line Eagles runners. Nice spin move by Robinson to pick up the extra yard. Shunderick Powell has shown a little something too.
Eagles have 411 yards of offense. That also gets me thinking. Has Saquon Barkley spent any time in the offseason teaching the reverse vault?
I don't think he's going to do that again. He took a pretty good lick. I think once was enough. McCord trying to buy some time, and Robinson can't haul it in on the near sideline. It's interesting, isn't it, just to watch McCord as a rookie, you know, and compare and contrast McCord and DTR to what we saw from McKee, just in terms of how quickly the ball comes out. In fairness to DTR and Kyle McCord, they don't get very many reps.
Right.
You know, we talked to Kevin Patul, the offensive coordinator, about that. It is primarily Jalen Hurts and Tanner McKee getting those guys ready for the real game. So these guys battling for the number 3 quarterback job, they gotta learn on the job here.
McCord throwing, and got picked off. On the deflection, that ball is intercepted. But how about this? Joe Giles Harris still on his feet, and he's going all the way in. How about that?
And to add injury to insult, there's an Eagle that's down. I have no idea what happened there. I mean, it hit the linebacker in the face mask off E.J. Jenkins. I don't know that he was, oh no, he got touched down. I think Jenkins touched him and then his knee went down. It's a scoring play, so they got to review it. But tell me, went off Jangometa and then watch.
Went off his face mask,
Right, so
then
he
a hip.
stands up, no watch. Did E.J. Jenkins touch him there and then he went down?
I think so.
I'm not sure if that was Jenkins or a Bengal. Watch 84.
Catches the
He
ball.
has it. Does 84 touch him? Yeah, that's the right hand. That's all we need is the right hand by Jenkins, and then he goes down. This is coming back. Or at least it should be.
All turnovers are reviewed,
So are all scoring plays.
so they can review it twice.
We got the daily double review here.
And Kenyon Green is the Eagle who is slow to get up on the 30-yard line. So they'll take a look at the video as Green gets to his feet here in Philly.
Contact at the 35-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes even.
From what we saw, tough one to see based upon the angle, but they got it right.
Correct. I mean, you can see. Watch 84. Jenkins, E.J. Jenkins, the right hand on
White
the back
glove,
of the
right?
jersey. White glove on the back of the jersey. That's all the Eagles needed. Then he goes down. You'll see the knee go down. It's dead right there.
So the interception stands. The touchdown return does not. Cincinnati will take over at the Eagles' 35-yard line. Defense has stood pretty tall. If you joined us late, Bengals played their first team offense for the first quarter, and Joe Burrow looked a lot like Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase looked like a lot like Jamar Chase. Since that time, though, the Eagles have really dug in defensively. Ritter's throw down the sideline is incomplete. That was Nickerson in coverage on that far side.
Eagles have 3 Toledo Rockets on the field right now. And they're not going to put Quinyon Mitchell out there, but they could. Both linebackers, Dallas Gant and Lance Dixon, as well as the safety Maxon Hook. They could have 4 Toledo Rockets on the field at the same time.
Ritter throwing, skying it well over the head of his intended receiver, Jordan Moore.
And one of the reasons I think they have so many guys from Toledo is because Toledo's head coach, Jason Candle, was a teammate of Nick Sirianni's in college and then coached him for a year. So those guys know each other very well, as you see the linebackers that are playing tonight. And obviously, Nakobe Dean not on that list after the knee injury. You'd have to expect it'll be a while before Nakobe's able to get back on the field.
A lot of depth at linebacker, though. Third down, they've got to get it to the 25. This time Ritter's throw is caught, but nowhere to run for Moore.
That is well done again by Castro Fields. Let him catch it in front of you. It's 3rd and 10. Rally to the football, make the tackle. Castro Fields, year 3. He's played some ball from the DMV area, went to Penn State, drafted by the Commanders, spent some time in San Francisco. But you can tell sometimes the guys that are rookies and the guys that are in their 3rd year, like Castro Fields, and have been around the block a little bit.
Evan McPherson has a big leg. This is going to be a 51-yard attempt for him, as the Bengals try to get some points off the turnover. And he got it. So a 14-point game now with just under 9 minutes left to go. This weekend is about the beginning of the preseason games. Last weekend in Canton, Ohio, it's about Eric Allen. Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Got his gold jacket, gave his speech, recounted some of his best moments as a player. Talked to him a couple of times, and that period of time, he just loved being a part of that gangrene defense. And his specialty was making plays after he got the ball in his hands, including 4 pick sixes in one season.
They were so good. Congratulations to Eric. That was my heyday right there, 88 to 94, 9 years old to 15 years old. I think I could still name maybe every starter on the 91 defense, even some backups. Golick, Clyde Simmons, Reggie White, Mike Pitts, Byron Evans, Seth Joyner, William Thomas, Wes Hopkins, Andre Waters, Eric Allen, Ben Smith. How you like me now, Scott?
Doing a great job.
Izell Jenkins, maybe?
Maybe. Well, Eric Allen, great career here in Philadelphia. Then after a not so great experience in New Orleans, went on to have almost a second career with the Raiders. Well deserving after a long wait of the Hall of Fame accolades that he got last week.
I know we still got all the diehards with us here. 4th quarter, preseason game number 1. Let's see what we got with Kyle McCord here. They also have Laken Vakalahi in at left guard.
Little pitch play to Powell. And Powell kind of lassoed on his way out of bounds after a pickup of 4 or 5.
Let's watch Vakalahi here. Remember last year against the Vikings, that was his first time ever playing in a football game. I don't love the angle there. Probably should have gone a little bit wider, but he got the job done. Really curious to see how much progress he's made after a year of playing the sport. You know, he's the Australian exemption, so he gets to be on the practice squad no matter what.
You know, it's funny, and I'm not trying to draw unnecessary or unfair comparisons, but it wasn't all that long ago, maybe 7 years ago or so, we were saying in the preseason, I wonder what kind of progress that guy has made in his 1 year playing the sport. You know, he had the #1 grade of any player in football last year in Pro Football Focus?
Yes, I do know that, because in 2018 I wasn't doing the Eagles preseason yet, and sitting on my couch I tweeted that I thought Mailata was so impressive. He might be an all-pro someday. And thank you so much, Jordan, for making me look good.
Second team All-Pro last year. McCord gets away from pursuit. Lofted it up there, but wasn't enough room on that far sideline for Taylor Marin to make the catch.
So let's take a look at our guy playing in his second ever football game. Vakalahi, okay? He's going to be one-on-one. A little bit of a bull one-arm stab, and then he gets his arms knocked down. You know, just because you're in practice, that is not the same as... Can you imagine your first time ever playing a sport is at the professional level?
Not easy.
Like Mailata, he was a rugby player, but American football is just so different.
Powell, that quick burst again at the outside. I think it's positive yardage. Clock keeps moving.
It's remarkable what he's become, Mailata. I mean, obviously, he's got incredible physical ability, but a lot of these guys have awesome physical ability. I mean, look at the guys out there for the Eagles right now. They're both 6'8", 6'7", long arms. Jeff Stoutland deserves a ton of credit, not only for how good the offensive line is in general, but in particular, the development with Mailata.
Well, he deserves and receives a lot of the credit from his own players anytime they talk about him. There's a kind of a touch throw for Morin down the right sideline and a little bit too strong for McCord. It's going to bring the punting unit out with 6:40 left.
He had him.
Yep.
But again, with the lack of reps, you know, you wonder how many times has he actually thrown that route to Taylor Morin. Morin played 6 years at Wake Forest, graduated summa cum laude as an engineering major. Summa cum laude? Lauda? What do you think?
Go halfway in between.
I think you can tell I wasn't that.
Well, truth be told, you had some trouble with months yesterday in our meeting, so. But these things happen. Let's bring Dave Spadaro into the conversation now here in the fourth quarter. As Spuds, you take a look at guys who had an opportunity to make an impression and a lasting impression after game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all had questions about the wide receivers and who would emerge, and we saw three of them emerge. We saw Cooper and Wilson and Aniyah Smith really show up, and Smith adds the explosive play with the punt return. Really important that the Eagles see some depth behind their starters, and then Jahan Dotson also had a strong game. Linebackers, you know, Campbell around the football needs to secure the ball when he has an opportunity to do so. Mondon probably had a little bit of a lesson tonight, learning about the game of football at the NFL level and the tempo of the game here. And then I think cornerback is also a position that we talked about. And did Ringo really step up? No, he had a tough night. So the Eagles will have some competition when they get back to practice on Saturday with their new cornerback. So the questions that we had going in maybe get a little bit closer to being answered with this game tonight. And certainly Tanner McKee, no doubt about it, a terrific performance as the #2 quarterback. Nobody within the Eagles organization has any doubt at all that if he has to play, he will play very, very well.
The ball thrown way up top by Desmond Ridder, and it turns into a completion. Running that down, Jamoy Mays, the rookie out of Cincinnati.
Desmond Ridder, that's one of the best throws I've ever seen him make. Top of your screen is going to be a deep post. Perry Nickerson looks like he's in man-to-man coverage. That's tough. I don't know where the safety is in the middle of the field, but that's asking a lot to have a corner cover a guy on a deep post with no help like that. And Nickerson was still right there, almost made a play on the football.
Was a great throw, but if he let him, it's probably a touchdown. And that one way too much down the sideline. Trying to go back to the well with Mays. The other thing you got to remember here is Ringo and company all finished their night's work, and you know the evaluations will come. The work starts next week. Next week's a different kind of week.
Well, yeah, the two joint practices. And you wonder, you know, obviously Ringo did not have a great night. he was also going against maybe the best receiver in the NFL.
Right.
So, but in fairness, you know, if he's going to be a starting cornerback for the Eagles, he's going to go against good receivers. Although, interestingly, they've been moving around Quinyon Mitchell at practice so that he has the ability to travel with an elite receiver like Chase if Fangio would elect to do that.
So next week, as we said, it's different. Wednesday and Thursday, the Browns will be in town. There will be joint practices both days, and that's really all the regulars getting all their reps in and going close to full speed, as you're going to see, almost like a game. And then the game will come on Saturday at 1 p.m. here at the Link.
Those two joint practices, Scott, are probably the two most important days for this Eagles football team leading into the regular season. Wow. Ritter could have easily run for the first down. He elects to throw it because he's got an open Cole Burgess, and Burgess just drops it. I bet you Ritter runs it the next time. Look at that. There is nowhere to go. Nobody around, I should say, to tackle him, and that's one where Ritter would have been better off tucking it away. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Big play.
Ritter was 8 and 9 as a starter for the Atlanta Falcons. Trying to get his team down to the 32-yard line to keep this going. Got his man. He's got his first down. And a security blanket and a big tight end in Hudson making the catch and getting all the way down to the 19-yard line. 19 on the play, and the drive continues for the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, 4th down and that distance, I'm not sure why the Eagles are dropping. Watch the second-level guys. I mean, they get so much depth. It's like they totally forgot that Tanner Hudson was an eligible receiver. That's a mental error by someone. It should never be that easy to convert a 4th and medium like that.
Bengals in the red zone. Ritter throwing. Right back to Hudson. And he dances out of bounds with an assist from Maxon Hook. That stops the clock with 3:38 left to go after a pickup of 7.
Maxon Hook, 4-year starter at Toledo. Led the team in tackles. He's a guy that probably would have been drafted if he had better measurables, right? He's more of a baller than he is a workout guy at the combine or a pro day. But guys that fit that description, their best chances to make it are typically linebacker, safety, offensive line. You know, linebacker and safety especially, a premium's on the football intelligence.
Touch throw. It's there. Does he make the catch? He does. They're calling it a touchdown. Hudson did bring it in. Did both feet get in? If they did, that's a 12-yard touchdown. And we got a 1-score game.
Catch, left foot.
Yep.
Oh, that right foot's close.
I think he got it in.
That right foot is close.
That's an experienced player right there.
Left foot, watch the right. Ooh. Tough to tell from that angle. From that angle, oh, this will be the best one.
I think he's in.
I don't know how you overturn it.
I think he just got that right foot down in time.
Probably a good thing he's wearing white cleats, right? White on white, you can't see as well if he was wearing darker cleats.
So the touchdown stands. And as stated, we've got ourselves a 1-score game now. It'll be a 7-point game with 3:33 to go. Eight-play, 92-yard drive. That big play to Jamoy Mays opening it up. So your notable players tonight. Tanner McKee was marvelous. 3 total touchdowns, 252 yards. Will Shipley ran the ball well. Darius Cooper absolutely was eye-opening with his 6 catches and the touchdown. Jahad Campbell got onto the field, made some plays, missed on an opportunity for a tip ball interception. But for him, it's got to just feel so good to get back to playing football again.
No doubt. He was so excited about it. He said it was going to be surreal to take the field as a Philadelphia Eagle. Growing up around here as a big Eagles fan, as you see Will Shipley. But Campbell was, you know, I just rattled off the 91 defense. I didn't mention Jerome Brown. I should have. I went already to Golick. his backup. But Jahad Campbell, his favorite Eagles, LaShawn McCoy, Brian Dawkins, Trent Cole, and Deshaun Jackson. It's a pretty good fearsome foursome there, Scott.
That's a very good mix, too. So on the return now, Carter Robinson gets it out across the 20, up near the 24.
Eagles need to move the ball here, right? They're trying to win the ball game.
4 minute. Well, 3:28.
Both teams still have all their timeouts. Eagles going real deep along the offensive line. Holland Pierce, the big undrafted rookie free agent from Rutgers, I believe is in for the first time. Keegan, last year's draft pick out of Michigan, is getting some snaps at center. And they still got Vakalahi in at left guard.
But the aim now is to get a couple of first downs and run the clock. There's your first down. We got a flag on the play.
Holding, offense number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Well, Cameron Williams gets called for the hold, and that negates that big first down run. Eagles 10 penalties tonight for 80 yards.
Watch the 6th-round pick out of Texas. Cameron Williams. It's a run to the right. Watch his hands. Yeah, you can't do that. He's already outside the framework, right? So watch when the defender tries to disengage. He won't let him. He's pulling him. That is a blatant hold. And that's one of the reasons why Cameron didn't go until the 6th round. He had a ton of penalties and inconsistency at Texas.
Well, not much on first down. The clock continues to move. We'll see what the Bengals decide to do with regard to their timeouts. Zach Taylor trying to get his team one more opportunity, perhaps, to score and get this game tied up.
And, you know, that's something that Williams hopefully will learn from, Scott. You can get away sometimes with having your hands outside at the start of the play, but then you replace them, right? You bring them back inside. You don't keep them out there, so if the running back bounces it out, you're going to get called for a blatant hold.
Lessons learned. And now Robinson is dropped, and a quick timeout for the Bengals is expected with 2:32 to go. They've got 2 left. The Eagles are going to have a 3rd down and a bunch here. The Bengals trying to force a 3-and-out to get the football back. Isaiah Thomas making that tackle.
Probably a good time to remind everybody there is no overtime in the preseason. So if the Bengals score, you would like to think if they get the ball here that they would go for 2, but I guess you never know. Maybe they like ties.
I doubt it. Cincinnati, kind of a weird thing. They were in back-to-back AFC championships, and last 2 years, 9-8. Missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons.
Well, certainly, as much as Eagles fans are going to be talking about Tanner McKee tomorrow, Bengals fans are going to be talking about that defense.
3rd down. Staying on the ground, forcing them to use the timeouts. And Cincinnati will use their second with 2:28 to go. So now here comes the punting unit. And the Bengals, it looks like, will get the ball back with some time on the clock.
You know what's funny, too, Scott, in these situations is everybody will tell you nobody cares about the 1-loss record in the preseason, and it's just about getting ready for the regular season, and it doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, all these players and coaches really want to win this game. Whether they say it publicly or not, they just want to go in after the game and feel good about the reward that they had, that they got a victory. And so they're both going to do everything they can to try to get this win over the last 2.5 minutes.
Man trying to get a good punt away here. We're playing situational football late in the game. Isaiah Williams, who was the primary return man for Cincinnati late last year, waiting to return it. That's a boomer. Big one. All the way back inside the 15. A little bit of a lane to the outside, but a flag down on the play. In fact, 2 of them coming in. As Isaiah Williams makes it out near the 35-yard line. 65 yards on the punt.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 45. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the defense now comes out. Here are the players re-signed in the offseason. Zach Vaughn, what a year last year. Saquon Barkley, take that plus. Lane Johnson, who we talked to earlier, and Cam Jurgens as well.
And that's what the Eagles do. When they identify a core player, a guy that's a really good player, they reward them, and they do it early. Evidently, not every team in the division necessarily feels the same way.
And Howie Roseman does an amazing job of not just putting the competitive team on the field, Ross, but looking ahead to how to stay competitive moving forward.
There's no doubt that he always has one eye on this year, but one eye on the future. And I'm past talking about him as the best GM in the NFL. I don't follow the other sports as closely, but I'm wondering, are there front office executives in the other sports that are better than him? Because he's as good as it gets in pro football.
Ritter throwing too high for Mays, and that's going to bring up third down now for the Bengals. We still have 2:08 left to go.
So the Bengals can stop the clock 2 more times, but they got to get a first down first. And we'll see if the Eagles, do they come with a straight rush and let these guys out there like Gabe Hall and Ty Robinson straight rush, or do they run some type of stunt? Antoine Powell-Ryland, 52 right there at 16 sacks for Virginia Tech last year. Let's see if somebody can get home.
Ritter on third down. Dumps it down low, and the hurdle doesn't work for Tanner Hudson. Maxon Hook wasn't going to be denied. He gets the tackle, and the Bengals will take one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Oh, check that. It is the 2-minute warning. That's the preseason for everybody. Eagles lead it by 7. 34-27, 2 minutes to go. Let's take a look at our player of the game, presented by Independence, official health insurance partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. No doubt about who that is.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't ask us. We didn't get a vote, but we both would have picked Tanner McKee, that's for sure. Just an incredible performance by him. Yet again, it feels like he's played well in any opportunities he's been given with this organization. And, man, you can see why the Eagles felt very comfortable to trade Kenny Pickett and make Tanner McKee the number 2 quarterback. He is exactly what you're looking for as a backup quarterback. And we talked about earlier, you know, he's making the 3rd-year minimum. There are years where the Eagles have paid upwards of $6, $7, $8 million for backup quarterbacks. So with all these good players on the team, you got to save money somewhere. And right now, they're saving money at number 2 quarterback.
And that gives them a lot of flexibility, as you said, in that way. But the other thing that jumps out to me is if anybody, and probably nobody in that locker room or in that coaching room had any doubt, if anybody who's watching had any doubt about whether or not they had a backup quarterback who could step in and help them win a game before tonight. I understand it's a preseason game, but you have to look at the reads he was making, the quickness with which he was throwing, the accuracy with which he delivered the ball. All of that was right there.
And you know why I think it matters so much? You know, Hurts is, I think, missed a game or 2 every year. He kind of gets banged up with the way he runs. Last year was just a concussion. But if Tanner McKee has to play in a game or 2 or more, those guys are going to have a lot of confidence in him because all they've ever done is seen him play well, just like us. And I think that's huge. You know, I've been in the huddle with starting quarterbacks, then the backup quarterback comes in, and you're thinking, uh-oh. When Tanner McKee comes in, those guys aren't going to be thinking, uh-oh. They're going to be thinking, here we go.
Well, this is whether or not we've got a ball game for the last 2 minutes. 4th down. Bengals have to get to the 30. Ritter throwing. It's incomplete. Castro Fields there for the coverage. Good coverage downfield on Rashad Owens. And the Eagles will take over on downs with 1:56 left.
Castro Fields was 3 for 3 tonight. In terms of making plays, they tested him. It's man-to-man coverage. You know, they're not going to throw the flag unless they feel like someone's getting the advantage. They thought it was fair play there with Castro Fields and the Bengals receiver, Rashad Owens. No call. Terrific job by Castro Fields, who made 3 big plays here in the second half for the Eagles. I think all 3 in the fourth quarter.
Cincinnati does have the ability to stop the clock once. I doubt they'll do that. But the Eagles running the ball, just in case they do. But it appears as though this one is counting its way down. And like you said, it's a preseason game. Will anybody remember in November whether they won this game? Probably not. But will it matter to them tonight and tomorrow that they did? And the answer is yes.
Well, and Scott, let's not forget, for people that tuned in late, the Bengals played their starters the whole first quarter. So that should give them a significant advantage in the outcome of the game if they're playing their ones, and the Eagles did not play very many of their starters, just really the guys that are battling for jobs. And yet the Eagles still were going to come out on top.
Now, the Eagles haven't put up a lot of offense over the course of this fourth quarter, and they still have more than 430 total yards in this game. That says a lot.
Terrific start for Tyler Steen, who looks ready to go here in year 3, and they've got a big week coming up against Cleveland. Wednesday and Thursday. That'll be a lot of starters against starters. Eagles against the Browns, to make sure the Birds' first stringers are ready for that Thursday night home opener here against Dallas.
And this will be your last play of the ball game, as this one will come to an end. Nick Sirianni doesn't need to run another play. And Tanner McKee and his teammates will leave with a preseason opening victory by a final of 34-27. You're a coach, many ways a good night, Ross, because you got some good performances and some things to work on.
That's ideal, right? Obviously, the Eagles had a lot of positives and spots where they wanted to see them, especially quarterback and receiver, and they've got some things to work on, and that's exactly what they'll do. Right back to work tomorrow for the Birds.
Thanks for joining us for the first game of the 2025 preseason. Join us next Saturday at 1. Eagles taking on the Cleveland Browns right here at Lincoln Financial Field. Stay tuned to NBC 10 for the postgame show. For Ross Tucker and Dave Spadaro, our entire crew, I'm Scott Graham. Good night from Lincoln Financial Field.